Your full name
Marlon Jr. Allen.
and where and when were you born?
I was born on 2nd Street of Dierks, Arkansas. My aunt delivered me. That was in August the 30th, 1945.
Hmm. So, who else was in your family?
Well, I had two families. Most of them got killed at tornado in 1952. That part of the family was uh, my mother, grandmother, grandfather, great grandmother, great grandfather, aunt, first cousin, neighbor. Uh, I left my dad and brother. And my dad later married a woman that was 10 years older than me. And my brother lived right next door. Well, down a little piece from me for most of his life. He's been gone. And so out of that, I have a half brother and a half sister right there.
Okay. What are the traditional first names in your family?
Well, we got a whole lot of Marlins. My dad was named Marlin. I was first name Marlin. My oldest son's first name is Marlin. His oldest son, first name is Marlin. So we're stuck with all the Marlins out there.
Um, let me see. Did other family members live nearby?
Yes, my sister, half sister, just lives down the road in my dad's house, and my half brother just lives a few hundred yards further down the road.
Yeah. Um, what did your community look like outside of your family?
Well, I have all good neighbors. It's a pleasant place. It's a quiet neighborhood just outside. In fact, the city limits it runs through the edge of my yard. It's a very pleasant place to live.
Let's see. Where did your ancestors come from?
Well, my grandmother's grandmother, was born on a ship coming over here from Russia. My great great grandmother was buried over at Great Chapel Cemetery now, and it doesn't tell when she was born. It tells when she died, and that she was born in England.
Hmm.
And I have an Irish background, so I'm a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Did the family name change when they immigrated to U.S.? Do you know?
I don't know that far back.
Okay.
I know, I guess, 6, 7 generation of Allens.
Yeah.
And it's always been Allen that I know of.
Are there any traditions that are still carried, like that we still do, that they did?
Not that I know.
Okay. Mm. Okay, so what games did you play when you were a kid?
Back in those days, the kids always played Cowboys and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
They BB gun hunted. Um, I worked. By that time I got big enough to do those jobs to do. I enjoyed my work more than I did playing football, so
Yeah.
I do not much of a sportsman.
Was there any toys that you remember that you liked? Toys?
Any toys.
Yeah, like
Oh, a bicycle.
yeah.
When we were kids, we rode a bicycle all the way over to the Decoy Junction and back. I mean, we went along. That's all we had to go with, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my driver's license when I was 15-year-old. Back those days, you didn't have to have a birth certificate.
Yeah.
I started driving a pole truck at night and load it. I'd come home from school, eat supper, feed the stock, get my lessons, go to bed. They'd wake me up at midnight and have the truck loaded. I'd drive the truck to Mena, Arkansas, unload it and get back for the next day for school.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. No. Did you have any hobbies, or do you still have any hobbies?
Deer hunting. Used to fish a lot. But it got to be more work there now. Now I deer hunt a little bit. And, yeah, I have hobbies working.
Yeah.
I enjoy certain things too, and I pick on it.
Mm-hmm. Do you collect anything besides tools?
Junk and tools.
Um. Okay, so tell me about high school.
Well, I was not a great student, but I passed and graduated. Uh, I got out of the senior year. I got out an hour early. We could do that. We had certain grades, and my brother and I had a pulpwood truck. We hauled pulpwood out of school of the evening, and I drive a loaded pulpwood truck to school a lot of times. And we get sixth grade, the sixth. Uh, anyway, the last hour of class out and gone. I'd head to Nashville with a load, come back, and we'd do it again.
So what did you have loaded?
Pulpwood, what they call it back in those days.
What is that?
It's pine and hardwood. It's cut about 5 feet long. And you loaded it on, stacked it on the back of a truck, and you carried it to Nashville down and sold it in the yard.
Um. Did you have any influential teachers?
Did I have one?
Any influential teachers?
Oh, yes. Over the years, different teachers meant much. I just loved my third grade teacher. She helped me a little bit. So I was born a little tone deaf, colorblind, a little dyslexic in the first grade, and everything. And I lost my family that turned into them. I was kind of a child with a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
In the second grade, I passed it on through. In the third grade, the teacher explained a little bit about why I had difficulties making my P's look like nines, my fives vectors, and my threes look like cursive E's.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I am 79-year-old, I'm easing back into that. I have to be real, real careful.
Mm-hmm.
If I spell dog, I got to stop and figure out which side to put the doohickey on.
Yeah. Um. Did you belong to any influential clubs or organizations?
When I got old enough, I joined masonry. I still belong. I'm a 32nd degree Mason.
Mm-hmm.
And you seldom see many of them. Most of just third degree as high as they go.
Yeah.
I belonged to the Shriners one time, but anything other than that,
Yeah.
uh,
Um. What holidays do we celebrate as a family?
as a family,
All of them.
most of them, as many as they could, as families got larger, have trouble getting them all together to eat Christmas and any other holiday that goes along. But all holidays is a chance to enjoy your loved ones.
What's your favorite part besides? What's your favorite part of the holidays besides getting to see everybody?
Well, Christmas, give a gift or two,
Mm.
that's exciting. I'm like a kid, I still enjoy Halloween.
Yeah.
Not that I enjoy scared kids, I went turkey treating to. You used to, then there's a couple of us would go along, and the people, we were 16, 17-year-old, still knocking on doors, wanting candy. Uh, Pretty often it asked us where the family was, where your wife and family was.
That's us this year. We're getting the girls from Erica, and we're taking them to the trunk or treat, so so we can go too.
Yeah.
Tell me about the house that you grew up in. About the house that you grew up in.
Well, it blew away.
Yeah.
I remember a little bit about the house.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember my mother had a wood stove with drawing water. And a later date, Daddy moved to town and built another house up there. And we stayed up there. We lived on one hill. The school was on the other hill. You hear these old jokes about somebody walked uphill to school and then he walked uphill home. I did.
So y'all lived on the other side of town up there?
Right in front of the High Creek Baptist Church area. We had to walk right down from the draw below the church and up to the
That's a big
school.
hill.
Yeah.
Let's see. What were meal times like in your family?
What were meal times like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were there when it started, or you get left out.
Yeah.
You eat, you learn to eat what you took out, not to waste. Always clean your plate up.
Mm-hmm.
That was growing up there.
So who cooked the food?
After Mama was gone, my stepmother Margie
Mm-hmm.
done the cooking there on it. That was then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you talking about today?
Yeah. Who does it today? Grandma?
My wife
Yeah.
does most of the cooking. I will help a little bit every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a better dishwasher than I'm a cook.
Did you have any pets growing up? Pets? Did you have...
Yes. Few dogs. I remember one was a squirrel dog. His name was Jack. And since that time, in my family, they've been 10 or 15 Jacks.
Yeah.
I guess his favorite name on it.
What type of clothes did you wear back then?
When I got big enough to work, I bought myself Levi's. Before that, it was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time in my life when I had one pair of socks, one pair of underwear, one shirt to wear, and that was all. And people, the Red Cross come in with a lot of clothes and everything after the storm, and everything was gone.
Yeah.
But after that, I got where I'm a Levi person. That's my Sunday. I get up and then I wear overalls, and that is commonly called a farmer's tuxedo.
Okay, so back in the day, like, how did the family get around? Like, did y'all have a car, or what did y'all do?
Yes, I've always remembered cars. I can remember Daddy bought a brand new 48-mile Chevrolet. Then later on, you could buy those for about $700.
What?
Brand new car. Yeah.
I wish. Yeah.
Yeah, we've always had a car. I got my first car when I was 14 years old. And I started driving. Daddy's old rig in the woods and everything. By the time I was 12 years old.
Did y'all go on vacations?
Yeah, we made part of the family was left. There's one much local, and the rest of them lived out in California and Oregon. And I don't know, we made a trip out there. I was about 10-year-old. We made another trip to California and Oregon back into there when I was about 12 or 13-year-old. And then I eventually moved out there on myself after I was married.
So that was where'd you say?
That was in 1964.
But where was it?
Moved to Bakersfield, California.
Oh, yeah, because that's where Dad was born.
That's where your dad was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like out there?
Lonesome.
Mm-hmm.
The people were different than what I was used to. Shopping was totally different. The pay was higher than it was back here. I left here $1 something higher and went to work out there at $3.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a attraction. But most people got more money than that. A lot of the Arkansasers, they call us Archies when we got there,
Mm-hmm.
moved out there for the big pay. So we always laughed. They said the money trees grew in California,
Mm-hmm.
but mine never did bloom while I was there. It took 4 years to get enough money to come back to Arkansas.
Yeah. So, like, was, like, the living expenses was more there? So,
Some things was actually cheaper there than it was here. You had more opportunities. You could go to the grocery store and buy everything from horse meat to snake meat. I mean, the stores had everything in it, everything. And the food was not even more expensive there than it was here.
mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it was a McDonald's early. It was just a few blocks down from where I lived at one place. And you could get 5 or 6 hamburgers for $1.
Oh, man.
They were just little meat, little apple onion, ketchup, no tomato.
Now you can't even get a quarter of a burger for $1.
Yeah, but it was you could get your grandmother and I could eat real well on $1 with the hamburgers there.
I remember when I was little, they were cheap, but now it's like you spend $12 just to go get a burger and fries.
And fries.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Times change.
Mm-hmm. What sort of entertainment did you like?
Rock and roll music.
Really?
Motown, mostly. Really.
I don't know. I expected you to like more country. I don't know. I just always thought that.
As I got older, I went into the country. And now gospel music the last several years.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like to listen to the oldies and goldies.
What did you watch growing up? Like, when did y'all get a TV and what did y'all watch?
My dad, I think he was the third man in Dierks who got a TV. And back then you could only get to Secunda, and it was a little bit snowy. But you could watch Enid, you could watch The Lone Ranger, Adios Silver, Superman back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the favorites, for us. And then as time come along, Bonanza, and there's all kinds of.
I like Bonanza.
So
Yeah. What large moments do you remember watching on TV? Like, the moon landing and.
when the first man landed on the moon, I heard it on the way back on the radio. And when I got home, I watched it on old black and white TV.
Mm-hmm.
There's what was it? One giant step for man. And, I don't remember exactly what was said
Yeah, I
at the
don't
time.
remember.
But I watched that, and I was outside working on the car when your grandmother come to the door and hollered that they killed the president.
Yeah.
So we watched that. Those are moments that I can remember pretty good on TV.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the thing the other day where Elon Musk sent the rocket in the back up into space, and then he brought it back and
Handed in the fingers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was amazing when they was able to go up there in the 60s. To me.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who was your family doctor?
Well, Dr. Harrison was the doctor in Dierks at that time. The old doctor, when I was born a baby, the reason my aunt had to deliver me was the old city doctor was drunk. They couldn't get himself enough to come in.
Um, do you remember any epidemics or diseases?
I remember it, when they come out with they didn't vaccinate us
Mm-hmm.
for polio.
Mm-hmm.
They come out and put the medicine to come to school. We got that in school, and put the drop of serum in a small cube of sugar. And we took the vaccination out of school there on it. And later, I can't remember what it was, they gave us more shots. That was in the late 50s,
Mm-hmm.
early 60s.
Hmm. That's crazy on a sugar cube.
Yeah, they were sugar cube, that's the way to put it.
Um. So your first job was working on a farm, or
Yeah, I guess
okay,
that would be,
or doing farm stuff.
yeah.
Describe a typical workday.
Well, in the summertime, we put in as much as all up there, 60 acres of corn.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was a chore. We had two tractors. I drove the biggest one. My brother had that littlest one. Occasionally, we would race the tractor a little bit when Daddy wasn't around. We done a lot of that.
Um. What about when you got older? What about when you got older?
Oh, I left home in 18 and Warehouser. That was before Warehouser. This was the Dierks company.
Mm-hmm.
They owned the mill up here. And there was about 600 people working at that mill.
Mm-hmm.
And at 18, I started to work there when I was 17. I graduated school when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, that's what I done. When I got an 18-year-old, I rented a house from the company. It cost me 75 cents a week house rent to rent the house. It's a 3-room house. Her cabinets was apple boxes on the wall with pillar cases. There's curtains over them. And there's one sink that's a hydrant that
Mm-hmm.
run into the sink there on it. And that's
I wish my rent was 75 cents a week.
75 cents a week, yeah.
Mm.
They held it on a check. I made $41 a week. That's what my pay was for working 5 8-hour days.
Mm. That's crazy to think. But in today's money, that would be, if we compared,
Quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to work for them years later. I went back to work for them. That was in 63. I went to work for them. And then I was gone. Different trips around to come back here. And I went back to work at the mill in 1977. And when I retired there on it, I was making quite a bit more. I was
Mm.
making $26 an hour, so that was a lot of money to me back
Mm-hmm.
then. But today, the same guy was doing the same job I was doing then. Costs $37 an hour.
Mm.
Times change.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Like anything like you remember, like historically, or like you want to talk about to the future generations?
I, I don't know. I didn't understand all the question.
I'm confusing. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Like anything from like that you experienced, like historically, or anything that you want to tell the future generations?
Uh, Not really. I got saved and went to church and everything. Uh, February the 21st, 1993. And that's been my biggest occupation in time, is learning all I can about Jesus Christ and passing that on to Conrad. And I've talked to you about the Lord, and I pass that on to people I work with and friends of mine and everything else. That's my biggest promotion, is that.
Yeah.
In future generations, more people need to know what I have found out.
Okay. Well,